Night on Fox.
Welcome to Good Day Chicago at 9. Here's a look at some of the stories we're following this morning. Chicago police say there is a connection between two deadly carjackings. We'll break down the latest details on the victims this morning.
And authorities are looking over new evidence found near the home of Nancy Guthrie. We're getting a live report from Arizona about what this means for the case.
And the partial government shutdown is impacting our local airports. We're going to have a live report from O'Hare International Airport with the latest. Now, a lot of you have this Monday off. Still a little bit of fog out there, Caitlin, but we also got some warmer temperatures coming our way as well.
That's right. You may already feel the difference from yesterday morning to right now. We have a 5 to 10 degree temperature jump, and yesterday was fabulous. So let's talk about first satellite radar, where you can see some cloud cover out there. We are expecting partly to mostly sunny skies, though, today. Once the fog is gone and these clouds start to break apart, it really will be a lovely day. Right now, seeing cloud cover, especially from the lakefront points north, so I-88 north, you have quite a bit of clouds, but south of there, you may just see some fog, and once that fog is gone, you'll get in on that sunshine. Temperatures right now ranging in the 40s. It's 42 at the lakefront, 43 at O'Hare, 46 in Gary, 40 in Kankakee, and 45 at LaSalle. We already feel so mild in the 40s, but with that dense fog, as mentioned, looks like our dense fog advisory did expire, but as we round the lake, LaPorte County, you still have it until 11 a.m. Checking in on the visibility numbers, things are improving quite fast. We're down to a quarter still in Valpo. Also Aurora down to less than 2 miles of visibility. The rest of us, we're doing okay. So temperatures, let's talk about it. Our futurecast will show how quickly we climb into the 60s. This is 4:15, 62 degrees at the lakefront, 62 at O'Hare, 63 at LaSalle. I do expect even the mid to upper 60s for some of you southwest of the city. Heading into this evening, temperatures still in the 50s. It's going to be a mild evening. And then tonight, we're getting down to the upper 30s and low 40s as our low. And then tomorrow, back to the 50s. Now, we do have a few rounds of rain expected this week. You can see scattered showers even being brought in on our futurecast by Tuesday afternoon and evening. And then Tuesday night into early Wednesday, we could have a few rumbles of thunder. Then more rain is expected Thursday into Friday. And then this weekend, highs only in the 30s. Your full 7-day forecast is coming up.
Well, police are still looking for two carjackers that they say are responsible for two deadly shootings.
Roseanne is live in Lakeview, where the first incident happened. Good morning, Roseanne.
Good morning. The first incident happened here in Boys Town. Not an hour later, there was a second fatal shooting in Bronzeville, and police do believe there is a connection between the two incidents. It was February 11th, just before 4 a.m., when police say 22-year-old Darwin Tirado was sitting in his car with another man on the 700 block of West Waveland. While two armed men approached, police say they demanded their car and property, but shot and killed Tirado as they fled. Police say within the hour, Tirado's car was involved in another deadly carjacking in Bronzeville at 37th Street and South Lake Park Avenue. That's where a man was found shot in the head. As police investigate, family and friends of Tirado held a candlelight vigil over the weekend. Chef Art Smith was on hand. He employed both Tirado and his mother and says the community lost a bright young talent. Residents in Lakeview call it extremely sad.
Unfortunate, scary, unexpected around this area, but it's always tough in that time of the morning. I don't know. Yeah, but definitely sad, no doubt.
Now back live, these flowers and candles left in memory of a young man that friends called remarkable. And this morning we've seen several people walking by and saying prayers and taking a look at this memorial left in his honor. In Lakeview this morning, Roseanne Tejas, Fox Chicago.
Now, Roseanne, we know you're in Lakeview. What can you tell us about the victim that happened in the Bronzeville neighborhood?
Right. We still do not have identification on the victim in Bronzeville. We're not sure who that person was.
All right, and, you were talking about another man that was with Darwin. Was he hurt as well?
No, he was not. There was a 38-year-old man in the car with Jarwin Tirado, and he was uninjured. But police continue investigating, and we have been checking in for any updates. We'll bring you those just as soon as we get any new information.
Okay, well, Roseanne, we know that you had to do a lot of digging for information, so we appreciate you bringing it to us. All right, and developing this morning, a new message of hope from Savannah Guthrie as investigators find new evidence near the site of her mother's disappearance.
Caroline Elliott is in Tucson, Arizona this morning with where this investigation currently stands. So what is the latest with some of the DNA testing that we could potentially see a little bit later today, Caroline?
Yeah, Brian, well, we know we could have a major breakthrough in this case in the next 24 hours as investigators now have the preliminary DNA results from a glove that was found about 2 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home. Now, we're told that glove appears to match the glove that was worn by the suspect in that surveillance video, and we're told that the DNA on that glove was different. So again, investigators are now taking that DNA sample. They're putting it into a system called CODIS, which is the FBI's national database that they use to track down someone and also identify DNA and compare. So again, we're told that that process is pretty quick. It takes about 24 hours. And if we do get a match, Brian, then we could very well have some answers out here soon.
Well, of course, Caroline, this raises the question, what happens if there is no match in CODIS or any of the other law enforcement databases? Where do they go from here?
Yeah, so CODIS is not a perfect system. We do know it doesn't include everyone in it, but it does include people with a criminal record. So I'll give you an example here. Let's take the Brian Kohberger case. That's the man who killed 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022. So in that case, investigators recovered a DNA from the crime scene. They took that sample, they put it into CODIS, and they didn't get a match because before then, Kohberger wasn't involved in any other serious crime. So from there, investigators then put that into a more advanced method called investigative genetic genealogy. And what that process is, basically investigators use it to track down a family tree to maybe get a closer look at one particular family member. We do know that process does take a lot longer. In Kohberger's case, it took about 47 days, so it could drag this case on. But either way, investigators out here are hoping to get a match one way or the other.
Wow, okay, thank you, Caroline. I have to ask, though, with us now waiting on these DNA results, what is the Guthrie family saying? I know that there was a new video that was released from Savannah.
Yeah, we did see Savannah Guthrie post on Instagram in a new emotional video saying she believes that her mom is still alive, and she seemed to be talking directly to her mom's kidnapper, begging them to bring her back home.
We still have hope, and we still believe. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that it's never too late. It is never too late to do the right thing.
So again, at this point, it's been more than 2 weeks since the Guthrie family has seen their mom, but really hoping for a break in this case soon. Guys.
All right, Caroline, thanks so much for your time. We'll be looking to see what happens with the DNA that the FBI recovers from that glove.
All right, the Department of Homeland Security remains shut down this morning. Lawmakers could not get a funding deal done by the holiday weekend, with Republicans largely rejecting Democrats' demands on reforms to ICE. The partial shutdown is expected to impact TSA, the Coast Guard, and FEMA, but not ICE or Customs and Border Patrol, which received billions in funding last year.
It's our expectation that we will respond to the unserious offer that Republicans have made that clearly omits things that need to happen, including but not limited to our demand that the Fourth Amendment be respected.
We're talking, but, you know, we have to protect law enforcement. ICE has done a phenomenal job. Border Patrol, we have a closed border for the first time in history. We have to protect law enforcement.
The partial shutdown may continue through the State of the Union address a week from tomorrow.
Governor Pritzker will deliver his State of the State address on Wednesday. The governor is expected to talk about President Trump's impact, particularly here in Illinois. He's also expected to talk about the state's budget gap. Pritzker is running for a third term, but is also viewed as a possible contender for 2028. Speaking of, the Illinois primary is a little over a month away.
And this week, our political reporter, Paris Schutz, will be hosting a series of debates with some of the candidates in some of those biggest races. Today, there will be a debate for the Democratic candidates for Dick Durbin's open Senate seat. There are Congresswoman Robin Kelly, Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi, and Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton. That debate begins tonight at 6 right here on Fox Chicago. We have everything that you need to know in one place on our website. All you have to do is go to fox32chicago.com/election. Well, Ash Wednesday is happening this week, and it has been the biggest day this year for one local business. We're speaking with the owner, co-founder of the Hollow app. That's coming up.
I'm Dane Placco on the rooftop of the Field Museum, where scientists are searching for tiny particles from outer space. That's right, stardust, right here in Chicago. I'll show you what they found coming up.
Primary debate.
A little bit of fog and haze out there.
Hanging out there.
Yeah, this is going to be a record-breaking day here for February 16th. Did you know that we walk amongst meteoric space dust every day?
No, of course not.
See, well, these are actual particles from space. The Field Museum, they found a way to collect and analyze that dust so that we can see what it looks like up close. Dane Placco is going to show us.
So currently we are standing on the rooftop of Field Museum. We are here for collecting cosmic dust.
Cosmic dust.
Yes.
Up here?
Yes.
The views of Chicago's skyline and Lake Michigan are fabulous, but it's the acres of Field Museum rooftop that fascinates scientist Basil Salim and museum program director Rudy Albsmeyer.
It's really special. I've done a lot of fun things here at the museum, but this one is definitely unique.
But finding that space dust isn't easy. Usually scientists travel to the Antarctic or remote places where there's little man-made pollution to find the micrometeorites that survive the fiery trip through Earth's atmosphere. Some 40,000 tons of space dust per year. But instead of an expensive expedition, they thought, why not just take a look on the roof?
This is like a zero-budget space mission. Going to Antarctica is not that easy. Going for a deep sea expedition is not that easy. So here, you just come to the rooftop. You just come with a magnet. That's our secret weapon.
And here's that weapon, a long, powerful magnet anchored to a metal pole suspended from a pair of ropes. A simple concept to snag some pretty rare dust.
This was a design that Basil came up with, so really we're just trying to cover a lot of surface area and pick up any magnetic debris so that we can essentially look at it later and see what we have and ideally find some micrometeorites.
And like modern-day chimney sweeps, they use a broom to dislodge dust from the rooftop gutters, then sweep a magnet covered with paper to pull out potential space debris.
Take out the magnet. Yes, we have the dust here.
Then it's down to the lab, where the dust particles are put under an optical microscope for sorting.
These are the magnetic particles that we collected from the rooftop.
They're looking for the round balls called spherules, a signature shape forged by burning through the atmosphere.
You can see here, this one, this one.
Those spherules are sorted out, then put under a scanning electron microscope for an even closer look.
And we are going to look more magnified. We are going to look into more details of these spherules to confirm whether these are cosmic dust or not.
And this is the telltale sign, a burn scar that makes the tiny meteorite look like a ball of yarn.
So it's a rapid heating as well as cooling. So it will produce a specific type of texture that is mostly common for these micrometeorites.
Finally, they perform chemical analysis for nickel, iron, and chromium, elements common in space dust.
So now we are confirming, okay, this is something which is from outer space.
I think it's amazing to find stardust, cosmic dust on the roof in an urban area.
Philip Heck is the field's top meteorite scientist. He says they've even been able to determine where the space dust comes from.
This cosmic dust comes from a variety of planets. Most of them come from asteroids, from the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, but some of them come also from further out.
After a journey of millions of years and billions of miles, these tiny specks of stardust will join their big cousins in the field's display of meteorites from all over the world, as the scientists head back to the rooftop to wish upon a star. At the Field Museum, Dane Placco, Fox Chicago.
Well, every time you see a meteor or a shooting star, it's a little piece of dust, essentially as big as those particles they're finding there. And as they mentioned at the beginning of the story, Antarctica is one of the best places to go to find this because anything that's not white on the ground more than likely came from space. Really cool story there.
Very fascinating. I feel like a 7th grade science class needs to take a trip.
I think so. Or just meet Mike Kaplan.
Yeah,
He's going to tell you some details. All right. Hey, we've got a lot of fun on the way on Chicago Now. We're talking to a Packers fan, who's being forced to go to Thailand after essentially losing a bet with a Bears fan.
Worst things
He's
to
going
do.
to tell us all about it. And we're also learning about another reason why you should cut down your sugar intake. An expert has details on how that can damage your kidneys. And the Jazz Institute of Chicago is about to host its annual Winter Jazz Fest. We're talking with the organization's executive director to learn more. We'll be right back.
content of this ad.
Welcome back. Time now, 9:22. Clouds hanging a little bit low out there. Had some fog. Also got some very warm temperatures start this Monday. For every Ash Wednesday for the last 3 years, an app from a local company becomes the #1 prayer app in the entire world. And that's expected to be the case once again this year. We're learning more about the Hallow app with the co-founder, Alessandro DeSanto. Thanks so much for rejoining us, and welcome back.
Thanks for having me back.
Same place 1 year later, right?
Absolutely. Thank you.
So for those of our viewers who maybe are not familiar with Ash Wednesday and this tradition, can you explain it to our viewers?
Absolutely. Ash Wednesday, so that's that day where you'll see people with the ashen cross over their head, on their forehead rather. And it's that time to remind us that in the 40 days leading up to Easter, we're preparing our hearts for the coming of Christ and his passion, death, and resurrection on Easter. And so it's a time of penitence.
And I was reading where you said that there's kind of a revival and interest when it comes to just faith in general. Why do you think that is, and how does your app take advantage of this momentum?
Yeah, I think in an increasingly crazy, hectic, stressful world, people are looking for a source of peace in their lives. And ultimately, we believe the source of ultimate truth, peace, is personal relationship with God. And so we help people build the daily practices to unpack that in their lives and to build those habits of surrender to God.
Now, there's millions of apps, especially in general, and even more, hundreds of thousands when it comes to religious apps. What is it about Hallow that you think it makes it one of the most popular, literally, in the entire world during this time?
Well, all praise and glory be to God. Certainly nobody needs an app to pray, but one of the things we try and focus on is really unpacking popular stories. This Lent we'll be doing The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky, and kind of paralleling how to bring God into the very practical aspects of each and every one of our lives.
And you were telling our viewers a little bit about Lent. You have a Lent challenge. What is that, and how can people participate?
The theme is the return. So as I mentioned, it walks through the classic novel by Dostoevsky, which is really a story about return forgiveness, and we're unpacking the parable, a popular parable, the prodigal, the son, on what it means to really, truly come back home and rest in the arms of our Father.
And for people going through the app, are there special things that you have just for this Lent period? Are there like different Bible plans? Can you walk us through that?
Absolutely. So we have over 50,000 things in the app, so there's a lot to choose from. But this Lent, the Pray 40 Challenge will feature a daily devotional. So you just come in each day. It'll be 10 to 12 minutes long, and you'll progress through this narrative story, different interviews, hear from people like Mark Wahlberg, Father Mike Schmitz, Chris Pratt, Gwen Stefani, and some familiar faces you might hear as well.
What does it mean for you guys to have some of those big names that are also getting involved in this app?
It's really inspiring, I think, just to regular people, to see people you might associate with, A-list celebrity stuff, movies, but to really take their relationship with Christ seriously and say, hey, let's go through this together, not just because I'm a celebrity, because we're all on the same team journeying home to Christ ultimately.
What's your ultimate goal for the app, even outside of Lent?
Hopefully to fill his heaven as much as possible, to bring as many people home. But it's really to help each person individually develop what their relationship with God is like, and to do whatever we can to support how prayer works for you.
How did you actually get started with this app?
Yeah, right here in Chicago. I'm one of 3 co-founders. Team of friends who went to college together, realized our lives were stressful and looking for some purpose in different ways, and ultimately and somewhat unexpectedly found our way back to literal church and figured out what does it mean to really know God. And in learning how to pray ourselves, we discerned a call to, hey, actually, I want you to help go out and do that for the world as well.
What was that moment where you felt like this isn't just an app, we're actually really on to something here?
There's a 3-hour version of that answer, but the 5-second one is, especially during COVID, when people's lives were really disrupted, church doors were closed in many places, and people were asking some really big questions, to be able to be in that digital space and say, hey, there's a lot going on, but let's try and focus on what's most important and use that to ground the rest of what we're going through in life. And so that was a real moment for us.
And if somebody's looking for more information on the app, where can they find you guys?
Hallow, Hallow. You can Google it, and the App Store will be the first thing that pops up.
All right, appreciate your time, and congrats again.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right. Well, today is the last day of the Bears Coat Drive. Bears, along with Jewel, the Salvation Army, and Sure Movers are all asking for your help to keep people warm. Today is the very last day. All you have to do is drop off your coats at a participating Joel Osco. You can find more information online at chicagobears.com/coat drive.
Welcome back. The government shutdown is affecting air travel, which caused some issues over the holiday weekend.
Saquon joins us live this morning from O'Hare International Airport with more. Hey, Say.
Hey, good morning to you guys. These TSA workers here behind me, the ones who screen our luggage and check all of our items before we get to the gates, they are on the clock right now doing their jobs, knowing very well that they're not going to be getting paid for the time they're putting in right now. As we know, TSA falls under the Department of Homeland Security, which means all TSA workers have basically been working without pay since Saturday when the funding lapse started. According to the department's contingency plan from September, about 95% of TSA employees are considered essential workers, and they are required to continue working during a government shutdown. If you remember last fall, during that record 43-day government shutdown, we saw massive impacts to air travel nationwide because TSA workers and air traffic controllers weren't getting paid, therefore naturally calling out of work. This shutdown, however, is a little bit different, guys. Unlike TSA, air traffic controllers fall under the FAA, which is part of the Department of Transportation, not Homeland Security. So at least they are still able to work and get their paychecks. Meanwhile, travel experts say flight delays are expected. In fact, we've seen them getting worse and worse throughout the morning here at O'Hare. Right now, we're looking at about 165 delays. That number has jumped up by more than 50 in the last hour. And at Midway, we're still seeing about 50 delays for the morning. Guys?
Well, Say, looking behind you, the TSA lines don't look that bad. Just how early should travelers prepare to get to the airport during the shutdown?
Yeah, great question. You know, I will say during maybe about the 7 or 8 o'clock hour, we did start seeing more of that morning rush. But really, in terms of, lines here, they're not too bad. It's just what you would expect to see when you walk to the airport. However, with that being said, it's definitely not a bad idea to get here earlier than you probably are planning for, especially when they are, experiencing flight delays, because you don't want to, you definitely do not want to procrastinate today is basically the message that we are hearing from travel experts this morning.
Yeah, no kidding. Say, what's next with the shutdown? Are there any key dates that we should be watching for?
Yes, so February 23rd is the key date to watch, and I say this because Congress is on recess right now, and that is when they will return to potentially, figure out this DHS funding bill. So February 23rd is when they will be back in Washington, D.C. to figure this out. But of course, as we know, with the shutdown, it only gets worse, and things only get worse as long as the shutdown continues. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye out for that.
Okay, our Saquon live from O'Hare. Thank you so much for your reports this morning.
Time now 9:32, checking in with Mike. Mike, are we still dealing with that fog out there this morning?
It is going away, and that's good news. There's a little bit of cloud cover out there. That may slow the warm up, but this is delayed and not denied. We're going to nail a record high today, and it's one of these days where the record is within easy reach. Tomorrow's record high is 67. Yesterday's is 69. Today's is only 58. It's going down. Right now, 43 at O'Hare and Aurora, 44 at Woodstock, with Sal, Peru, and Morris with 46. Chicago's Lakefront 44. Looking at Northwest Indiana, looks like Valparaiso, the cool spot with 41. 46 at Gary, and it's 44 degrees in Merrillville. As I mentioned, the fog is gone now. It was a little problematic. I wonder what that may have contributed to some of those delays that Say was just reporting on. There is some cloud cover across the area right now. That will be breaking up, and during the afternoon, temperatures are going to sail upward. Question is, will they get into the mid-60s or just the low 60s? I'm going to stick with my 64, but there's a chance it may end up being more like a 61 or 62. We're splitting hairs. It's going to break the record, and it's unseasonably warm. Our model is confident. We have lots of sunshine on the way this afternoon. Tonight, skies are going to be clear, fog could form once again, just as it has the past couple of mornings. Tomorrow morning will probably start with that. Now, tomorrow, not going to be as warm as today. There will be some lakeside cooling with a northeast wind coming in, and it will also be a little bit cooler far north. Late afternoon and evening, we get into some light rain with a chance of some heavier showers coming through here, say 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and there could even be a quick rumble of thunder. That scoots out of here by daybreak on Wednesday, and then we're off to the races temperature-wise on Wednesday. I think Wednesday will be even warmer than today. Rainfall totals, not a lot, maybe a quarter inch in a few spots, particularly with that second wave of showers that'll come in here late tomorrow night, but a lot of us getting just a few hundredths of an inch. This is not a particularly wet weather maker. 64 today, record warmth, partly sunny skies, a little bit on the breezy side tonight, low of 38, patchy clouds, and some fog. The next 7 days, The next 4, 50 plus, 65 on Wednesday. Little rain tomorrow night into early Wednesday morning. Some showers Thursday. Yes, it gets a little colder over the weekend, but pretty close to normal for this time of year. Got a couple of lovely photos to share. How about this one from Augie Fessy? He's got the sun rising over the fields of Burlington. No snow on the ground there in northern Kane County. That's a cool shot there, Augie. And how about our second photo? This one is Hobby having a little bit of fun at the beach. That looks like a beautiful German Shepherd dog, Julia and David Shin, out there taking the pooch to the beach. You gotta love that. Thank you all for sharing your pictures. All right, the Girls for Science organization, helping girls aged 10 to 18 find their passion in STEM and introducing them to a whole new world of opportunities. We're learning more about it with Jackie Lomax. She's the founder of the organization, and participants Logan Lomax. Any relation?
Of course.
I thought so. See how smart I am? And Cadence Baugh. Thank you all for being here with us. Jackie, first of all, tell us about the organization. What made you want to start it, and why science, tech, engineering, and math?
Well, thank you, Mike. I would say Girls for Science is God's work. It's a call to action for all of us to try to offer awareness, exposure, and readiness for girls between the ages of 10 through 18. I was inspired to start the program through my daughter, Lauren, who's now a doctor of occupational therapy.
Oh, fabulous.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats on that. Yeah.
Thank you. And so working with girls, we are the only free STEM program for girls between the ages of 10 through 18. We offer scholarships to college, mentorships to students, STEM activities and field trips at Chicago High School for Agricultural Sciences, Joliet Junior College, and Malcolm X.
You talk about dealing with young women between 10 and 18. That's differing age groups there. How do you tailor the various programs for a fifth grader versus a senior in high school, for example?
Well, it's like a sisterhood. The students that are with me today, they represent some of that leadership. We have peer-to-peer mentorship as well. They come in, their families. They have such a great cohesiveness. They learn from each other, and we're so fortunate to have them.
All right, let's ask a question here for Logan. We already know that your older sister's doing super good. What has your experience been as a participant in Girls for Science?
My experience with Girls for Science has been truly phenomenal, you know. I'd say that Girls for Science has taught me how crucial it is to have women in STEM, to have that leader or that role model to look up to.
Like mom?
Yep.
Like big sis?
It's taught me sisterhood, and it's brought my confidence up, you know. And as far as what it's done for my future, it's opened so many new doors for me. Just last summer, I was selected as one of Girls for Science's lab assistants, and that comes with mentoring the girls, attending outreach events, recruiting girls, and working with the staff.
Oh, great.
And also, I'm blessed to say that this fall, I was accepted into Northwestern's Medical Discovery Program for high schoolers, and Girls for Science has led me to decide that in my future, I want to become a certified registered nurse anesthetist.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, let's check in with Cadence. Tell us about some of your favorite activities or experiences here with the program, and when you get older, what do you envision yourself doing?
Well, personally, Girls for Science has opened so many doors for me. I love their like events and activities that we do. My personal favorite is when we went to a culinary school in Joliet, and I saw like other like women and ladies like me that like do things in there and really like inspire others.
Are you a good cook at home?
Oh, I would say I am.
Okay,
I would say I am.
Yeah, good.
I think, let me see, what I want to do like when I grow up, just anything in STEM. STEM is like, it's so interesting to me because of how crucial it is in today's world, and it's very nice to see people who look like me doing STEM.
Wonderful. Real quick, what's the success rate here of the program? Go ahead and brag. Go ahead and brag.
Of course, 100%.
Okay.
Like of our students, they go off to college, and I like to give a shout out because February represents International Day for Women and Girls in STEM, and one of the women that we celebrate is Linda McGill Bozeman. She's the only female of African American descent to run her own chemical plant in the U.S. So we are just so proud of our supporters. We're so proud to be advocates for women and girls, and we are still recruiting more students.
Well, that raises the next question. Let's say that somebody watching out there right now says, boy, that's perfect for me. I want to do STEM. Where can people go to learn more about the program or maybe even sign right up?
Absolutely. Go to our website at www.girls4science.org.
That's fantastic. I like how you talk right into the camera. It's like you're connecting with the audience there. Young ladies, I wish you continued success. Where did you go to school? Give a shout out.
Morgan Park Academy.
Morgan Park Academy. And Cadence?
Calvary Academy.
Calvary Academy. All right. Wave to everyone that's watching you. There you go. All right. Thank you all for joining us. Good luck to all of you. And, you got one that's doing great. And they're all doing super.
Thank you.
All right. We got a really cool fundraiser happening at Jewel Osco today in a few minutes. We're going to give you a closer look at the wrestling match it is hosting inside one of its stores. You got to see this. We'll be right back.
Something greater.
9:42. Welcome back to Good Day Chicago. Here's a look at the clouds over our skyscrapers. That clouds are going to give way to some sunshine from what we're hearing from our special meteorologists here. So hopefully you can enjoy it today on this President's Day. All right, let's switch gears here. Jewel Osco is launching a major fundraising event with the YMCA, and it's perfect for adrenaline junkies out there. Today, it'll host live wrestling matches, yes, wrestling matches inside its Clybourne location, and you won't want to miss it. We're learning more with the wrestlers who are headlining the event, Killer Cross and Matt Taven. Thank you both for joining us, and JoJo, of course.
Of course. Thank you for having us. It's Matt Taven, but you got heat now. You already in trouble. You're already in trouble. We're gonna get you in this ring before you know it.
Oh no, me in the ring. See, here's the thing, guys. You can't really see me, but I am not very athletic at all. That includes probably fighting. So I hope you guys don't take JoJo into that ring, but it looks like he is a champion. Let's talk about this because this is bonkers. You guys are fighting in an actual Jewel Osco location. So what's the setup that's happening behind you?
Well, we got the ring here. This is what's going to be going on. It's exactly like you said. We're doing this for Chicago. We're doing this for YMCA. They help over 300,000 people annually with health, different health situations, with wellness, with sports. This is an important thing to preserve out here in Chicago, and that's the bottom line. And I would say that this is probably a first for me, that I'd be wrestling inside a grocery store. I don't know about you, but for the first time ever, they've moved all the produce and we replaced it with a ring, and we will be a part of this great event taking place March 24th.
Okay, so forget the veggies, all the fruit that was there. We need to see what we need to see in the Jewel Osco. How do you actually give money? How does someone actually give money? Is it an entrance fee that they're paying for? Is there like kind of a donation bin that's there that people can kind of throw in some cash?
You're going to go online with the information provided, and essentially you're going to register for tickets. It is a charity event. And every registration, $1 does go to the YMCA of Metro Chicago.
Okay, and we know that you guys are the real deal, including JoJo there. How do you feel? Is this your first time wrestling inside of a grocery store? How do you feel about this?
I think it is my first time wrestling inside a grocery store. I think I've wrestled in a grocery store parking lot before, but inside the store where the produce is nearby that I could throw at my opponent at any time, this will be a first time for me. Yeah, I've never wrestled in a grocery store, but I've knocked out a lot of people in the deli section in New York growing up, so I mean, it's kind of all the same if you really think about it. This guy.
Why is there so much aggression that comes from a deli section? That even happens to me, and I feel like I'm very nice. Okay, there's also a giveaway that's happening at 1 p.m., so tell us about that.
So today we're doing a giveaway as part of the event, 1 p.m. Hopefully, come down to the store, come see the live wrestling. There'll be wrestling from noon, I think, till 1. And at the end there, we'll be doing a giveaway for the big event on March 24th.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because it's happening at the Salt Shed, you said, on March 24th. Should people look forward to that, get tickets? What can they expect with that?
Violence. Hey, it's family friendly. You're going to enjoy it. It's pro wrestling. Everybody knows what it is. It's more mainstream than ever right now. Yeah. And we're here to make sure everybody has a good time. We're going to make sure we're putting smiles on people's faces. Bottom line, everybody wins. Okay. What you're going to see today inside a grocery store is just a small example of the actual huge event we're going to have March 24th.
This is so cool. So this is just a taste. So you guys are really going to be in that ring behind you, and you guys are going to be going head to head.
Yes, for the first time ever.
For the first time. All right, I'm going to have to make my way over to the Clybourne location for Jewel Osco. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Thank JoJo as well. He's been looking great as a model there with the belt that whoever's
He
gonna
held
win.
it all together.
He does. All right, we'll be back with much more Good Day Chicago right after this break. Thanks again, guys.
All new Wednesdays on Fox.
Why don't we take a look at some stories that are getting a lot of attention?
Okay.
A toddler in Missouri has gone viral after deciding to take a closer look inside a popular arcade game. You know where this is going.
Oh,
don't you?
no.
Okay. 2-year-old climbed into the claw machine. Family wasn't paying attention. He was allegedly in there for 20 minutes. I mean, he's like, leave me alone. I've almost got what I want here. He didn't seem to mind, though, busy playing with the toys inside. His parents landed the best prize after he was eventually freed from that machine.
They literally crawled up into, like...
I guess. This is not the first time we've seen this, though.
No, but it seems like other time we see this, the kid's panicking in there.
Yeah,
and actually knows
This
that,
kid was
okay,
having a good time.
they're stuck in the machine. This
Like,
kid doesn't
no adults
care.
allowed.
He sees the police, nothing's phasing him.
20, 25 years from now, when that young boy is getting married, they're going to play this video at the wedding.
All right, well, there was a bizarre occurrence in Venice that's starting to gain some attention. Take a look at this. Dozens of fish popped right out of the drains and tried to swim the streets. This happened back on January 31st during high tide. Apparently, it's not unusual for the fish to come out of the drains. However, those who live there say that they've never seen this many before. The fish are gray mullet.
You know what a lot of the Italians said when they saw that?
What?
Holy mackerel.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, Mike. Yeah, it's very interesting. Okay, well.
Venice is still on my list. I still want to get there. Could they say eventually the water's going to get too high where it's going to like completely flood the city? Yeah.
Flood the city.
So you got to get there.
Okay, this one's interesting. We've got smart watches, right? We've got smart TVs and smartphones. Now scientists at the University of Maryland are developing smart underwear.
But why?
It features a wearable sensor that clips onto your underwear. The goal is to monitor gut bacteria activity by detecting hydrogen gas levels. Researchers say the device detects dietary changes with a 95% accuracy. Now they're looking for volunteers to test
I did
it
model for that one photo.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay,
that was me.
interesting.
I just wonder what is the market for these? Like, who asks for this?
Who is looking for that?
And how much are these going to cost?
I will say that I'm really into monitoring gut bacteria. Like I would love to know that information,
Right.
but not in this way.
They can't put it in your ovaries?
Also, there's no female
This is
version
only
of
for
this.
men,
This is only
apparently.
for men. Maybe
For
because
now.
they let
I'm
off
sure if they start selling, I'm
a
sure
little
they'll-
gas, a little more. Huh? Just saying. They try to make it
They can
all
measure, yeah.
sweet and PC, but we don't know what's going on here.
All right. So now 9:53 this morning. We'll be right back.
Chicago.
Any excuse to talk about the Bears beating the Packers is great, but we have a really good one today and a really fascinating situation because of the Bears beating the Packers. There's a Packers fan who lost a bet, and now, because of that lost bet, he is traveling overseas to make good on a promise that he made online. We will share this fascinating story. And he's going to be joining us here in studio to talk about his upcoming adventure.
Also, if you like sugar a lot, there may be some unfortunate consequences to eating a ton of sugar that you didn't link in your body. So we're going to talk about that.
That's all next. Stay with us.